Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Programming Guide channel. This is Bhargavi. Today, in this video, we are going to discuss about the recovery from deadlock. So, in the last my previous videos, I have defined what is deadlock, how to handle the deadlocks, how to detect the deadlock. Now, in this session, already we have taken the precautions for the deadlock. We avoided the deadlock. So, again, even though the deadlock is occurred, with the help of the deadlock detection scheme, that is wait for graph, we have defined the deadlock that is occurred between which processes. Now the next step is to recover the deadlock from that. That means the deadlock is there considered between P1 and P2 processes have the deadlock. So this P1 P2 processes should be free from deadlocks with the help of the recovery methods. We have two kinds of recovery methods. The first one is process termination and the second one is resource preemption. That means with the help of the wait for graph, we find that there is a deadlock between a process P1 and a process P2. So to avoid the deadlock, we have to use any one of the methods. So first we'll see about the process termination, right? Now, in the process termination, this method is of process termination. So, in the process termination method, first technique is terminate all the processes, all processes are terminated. So that means in the first all the processes are terminated. So in this case what happened, consider if we have only deadlock between two processes, we can do this. So this is the best option, terminate both the processes. Consider if the deadlock is occurred between 15 processes. So each process is up to 90% of the task is completed. What will happen? So if you delete, that means if you remove all these processes from the operating system, the work which is completed by the processes is 90% is wasted. That means more time is wasted in this case. Okay, so if you terminate all the processes at the same time is the easy technique. It is a very easy technique. What is the thing? If the time waste is also occurred here, that means more time is wasted. If you want to run the same 15 processes again, more time is required. That means this process is not suitable. That means this technique is not suitable for more number of processes. If you have the deadlock between less number of processes, terminate all the processes at the same time. But if you have more number of processes, deadlock is occurred. Now this process is not sufficient. Why? Because if you terminate all the processes, the most time is wasted. So we have a second method of process termination, that is terminate one by one. Terminate one by one. That means first P1 is terminated, again check if the resource are free and go for process P2. That means consider there is a deadlock between P1, P2 and P3. So P1 is having deadlock between P2 and P3 and in this way. So in this way if you have deadlock, instead of terminating all in first case, what we terminate? First we terminate process P1. So if you terminate process P1, what happens? So this connection, the deadlock between these is removed. So here there is no connection between P1 and P2. That means P1 is requesting process P3 to release the resources. If you terminate process P1, what happens? The request edge will not be there. Now, if you terminate the process P1, the resources of P1, that is R1, are given to the process P2. So P2 is requesting to release the resource R1. If the P1 is completely terminated, R1 can be given to the P2. Now P3 is just requesting the process P2 resources. If the P2 is completed the task, now it can give the resources to P3. That means terminate first P1, next P3, so that this can complete the task. Either terminate P1 or terminate P2, so P3 can execute. That means if you terminate one by one process, the resources will be released by those processes and given to the requested processes so that the deadlock can be removed in very efficient manner. But time is also wasted here, but it is complicated, it is easy. Time waste more occurred, time waste less occurred. So this is the difference between these two processes. That means if you terminate all the process at the same time, it is an easy task and time waste process. If you terminate one by one process, it is very complicated. It means understanding is difficult and time will be less. Why? Because if you terminate only these two processes, it can complete the execution. So these two processes will start from main. Instead of starting from all the processes from starting, we start only few processes from starting. Clear? So time waste is here more, time waste is less here. This is the first method, that means process termination method. Now we'll see resource preemption. Now, in resource preemption, that means resource preemption is nothing but whatever the resources we have, that we have to terminate. Now, in a previous case, we have terminated processes. So, in a previous case, we terminate the processes. Now, in this technique, we have to terminate the resources so that the process will be removed from the operating system and the resources will be given to the other processes. Now, in this first case, first we have to select a victim process. That means if you want to remove the resources, first we have to select victim process. That is nothing but from which process you want to remove the resources. Consider we have deadlock between P1 and P2. Right? Now P1 is requesting the resource P2. Now we have a deadlock here. Now what we have to do? We have to select the process P1 to terminate so that the resource of R1 will be cancelled to the P1. So P1 will stop its work so that P2 can execute the task very easily. Clear? That means which process we have to select so that the resources can be taken from that particular process. Now here in this case, the resources of R1 taken from P1 so that P2 can execute. After execution of P2, P1 take R1 resources as well as R2 resources of P2 and togetherly combine the task and executes the P1. That is the victim process selection. And the second one is rollback. The second task is the rollback. Rollback is nothing but like a undo operation in the normal computer. For example, consider process P1 is started here. After 10 seconds, P2 has came here. P1 has came here. Next, after 10 seconds, P1 is here. After 10 seconds, P1 is here. Now, P1 occurred a deadlock. Now what will happen if the deadlock is occurred in this position? What we have to do in the resource method? We have to take out the resources of P1 and these resources will be given to any other process. Right? Now this P1 should be roll back. That means P1 should come from this position to this position. Whatever the operations we done between this period will not be considered. Why? Because this position is not saved in the operating system. So whenever a deadlock is occurred, the process P1 should move back to the last checkpoint. Normally we call this as a checkpoint. So we set checkpoint for every 10 seconds. So last 10 seconds is here. So if the P1 is occurred deadlock here, this P1 should move this position. That we call it as a rollback. And the next and last one is the starvation problem. Now starvation is nothing but it is a lower priority process. That means consider we have three processes P1, P2, P3. Right? So this P1, P2, P3 have the deadlocks. what we have to do? Either we have to select the victim process and resources will be taken out and roll back the process, and consider here process P1 we terminated. So if you terminate this process P1, P2, P3 is there. So P2, P3 completed the execution. Again the deadlock is occurred for between P1, P4, P5. If the again deadlock is occurred, again P1 is stopped. Again we have taken the resources from P1. What will happen? Every time we are removing the P1 from the operating system, so this process will never be executed. Such problem is called as starvation. So every time not to starve the same process. That means every time if a deadlock is occurred, if lastly we are removing the resources from P1, now in this thing take the resources from P4 or take the resources from P5. That means a same process should not starve every time. So that we call it as a starvation. Clear? So this is about recovery from deadlock, process termination and resource preemption. Clear? Thank you. Thank you for watching my videos. If you like my video, please share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.